just want to say that I'm so sorry. All my people are getting attacked. The children. I don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise.
That video has gone viral, and it was on her Instagram. It has since come down. Stories last about 24 hours, so it is now down from her account. But we had Tom Homan, the border czar, on the top of 1 o'clock hour, and we asked him to react to that, and he said this.
I don't think we arrested any families. We've arrested public safety threats and national security threats, bottom line. If they don't like it, then go to Congress and change the law. We're going to do this operational apology. We're going to make our community safer. We're going to save. Once we lock that border on continuous operation, you're going to see fentanyl deaths decrease, illegal alien crime decrease, sex trafficking decrease. It's just all for the good of this nation, and we're going to keep going. No apologies. We're moving forward.
It's getting a lot of reaction.
So, where were these tears back when Obama, the deporter-in-chief, as he's known as, you know, he deported over 5 million illegals during his term in office. And according to Bloomberg, Selena Gomez is worth $1.3 billion, okay? As far as her background, like her family background, her mother is American and her father Mexican. In the video, she's crying about her people, but get this, her father left her and her mother. So, I mean, if you really want to get into it, your people, Mexicans, you know, they're the ones that are causing the pain and suffering over here in America. And but again, like, she's not shedding one tear for Americans. If she deems herself a Mexican, why don't you just go back to Mexico if they're your people? So many Americans have lost their lives and had their lives torn apart due to these illegals here in the U.S. And it doesn't just stop with that. I mean, like, what about the children? I came across a video, and I'm gonna play it for you in a bit, but Border Patrol has come across children who are being smuggled or actually trafficked. And as they're being trafficked, of course, they're being mistreated. Fill in the blank with that. And they're being drugged at the same time. So this is a reoccurring thing. But Selena Gomez, she's not crying for them. And the illegals who are being rounded up right now are criminals. Now, Tom Homan made it clear when he was campaigning with Trump what was going to happen. All right, the fun is over. This little nice cushy spot that you've claimed over here in America, done. It's time for you to go. You broke the law. Every one of them broke the law. That's still a criminal offense. But they're not really focused on that. They're going after the ones who actually committed crimes, like hard crimes, aside from coming into the U.S. illegally. However, when they are going after those cold hard criminals, if another illegal who is not a criminal is amongst them, hey, you shouldn't have entertained that group. But watch this video. But of course, again, no liberals are crying over this.
Police Arizona Port of Entry encountered a 28-year-old female U.S. citizen driving a Nissan sedan who presented U.S. birth certificates for 2 sleeping children in her vehicle. The woman stated to CBP officers that the children were family members. Unable to awaken the children, the primary officer referred the traveler to secondary for further inspection. In secondary, the woman had difficulty waking the children. Officers observed that the children remained extremely groggy. While interviewing the children, officers soon discovered there was no family relationship between the woman and the 2 minors, ages 11 and 8. The birth certificates, while legitimate, did not belong to the children, The minors were Mexican citizens and being smuggled into the United States. The children indicated to CBP officers that they were provided sleep aids in order to avoid detection. CBP officers detained the woman for alleged violation of U.S. law and seized the vehicle.
So let's just take a real quick look at these illegals who the left are crying over. And I want you to realize, like, this is just a small group thus far. And this is just starting, okay? And of course, not all of them are Selena Gomez's people, but look at what they all have in common. Can you guess what they all have in common? If you can't guess it, then you're just as lost as Selena Gomez.
Seda?
Say the what? You have a first and last name.
Sam?
Say the son?
Yes.
Where are you from?
Where I was born or where I'm from?
Where are you born?
Thailand.
You've been deported before from the United States?
No.
Never been deported?
But I've been in the system before.
EMD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been charged with
Charged for it.
before?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna talk to my lawyer.
Yeah. Are you a citizen?
My mom's a citizen.
Your mother's a citizen?
Yes.
But you're not?
Nope.
All right, so have you guessed it yet? I'm going to just go ahead and tell you because you're taking too long. They're all military-aged men, okay? Aside from the horrible crimes that they committed, and we're not talking about just petty theft here, we're talking about some heinous stuff, some demonic, evil stuff, okay? They're all military-aged men as well. Y'all are right here boo-hoo, whining and crying, talking about the women and children. The women and children, they're coming to the U.S. for help. Their safety, they're fear for their lives. So far, and there are some women, of course, out there. They're not innocent, but most of the ones who have been rounded up thus far have been military-aged men. Okay? And they're coming from all different countries. That guy just said Thailand. All right? And we also have, we're just getting started. We are just getting started. You saw earlier what that Border Patrol agent said about children being drugged. Why aren't celebrities like Selena Gomez, who have these billions of dollars, helping those children who have been lost, by the way? Hey, Selena, where are the tears for the 300 plus thousand? Shoot, it's probably 500,000. I can't remember. It seems like the number goes up, of course. What about the tears for them? Okay, it's ridiculous. It's sad. Americans have been fooled to believe that those who come into the U.S. illegally are actually here on good terms and deserve to be here. No one who is not born here deserves to be here. I was reading, or I watched an interview earlier about an illegal immigrant who's been here since 1994. He's rooted here. He has his family here. He has a business here. He says he pays his taxes, and he's saying that he's afraid now because Trump is deporting people. First of all, 30 years, over 30 years, and you have not filed for citizenship? Why? Why not? What's going on with that? Why haven't you applied for citizenship in the 30 plus years that you've been here? And he's not the only one. There's a lot of students here who are on expired visas. There are a lot of people who came here with work visas. Those are expired. It's not the issue with immigrants coming here. It's the issue with how they're getting here. And of course, not properly being vetted. Our government has failed us in protecting us. We are living amongst monsters, and intentionally they are being left to be here. I mean, they're left to be living amongst us. You have them in our schools, out on the streets, and the liberals think they want you to get caught up in your feelings, right? One of them, she put out, she was like, what are you going to tell your son or daughter when they come home from school and find out, or they tell you that their illegal friend was just deported? Well, first of all, little Jose or Ileana, their parents failed them. Is how you should start off the conversation with your children. Tell them how their parents failed them by breaking the law and getting them into the U.S. illegally. And this is what happens when you break the law. So, sorry, kid, make new friends. Maybe you'll see them again, maybe you won't. It's reality. These are the consequences of it. They want you to be in your feelings about it. And secondly, hey, they went together. They were not separated. Trump held, he held down that promise. They will not be separated. Great, right? I mean, hey, be thankful that you were here in the U.S., that you were born here in the U.S., that you have parents who are going to be honest with you about what's actually going on and learn from it. Sounds harsh, but I'm not the only one who feels that way. That's why Trump won. Millions of Americans are fed up with it.
Do you stand by that? Well, Margaret, I don't agree that all these immigrants or all these refugees have been properly vetted. In fact, we know that there are cases of people who allegedly were properly vetted and then were literally planning terrorist attacks on our country. That happened during the campaign, if you may remember. So clearly not all of these foreign nationals have been properly vetted. But there are 30,000 people in the pipeline, Afghan refugees. But my primary concern as the vice president, Margaret, is to look after the American people. And now that we know that we have vetting problems with a lot of these refugee programs, we absolutely cannot unleash thousands of unvetted people into our country. These people are vetted. Good. These people are vetted. Just like the guy who planned a terrorist attack in Oklahoma a few months ago, he was allegedly properly vetted, and many people in the media and the Democratic Party said that he was properly vetted. Clearly he wasn't. I don't want my children to share a neighborhood with people who are not properly vetted, and because I don't want it for my kids, I'm not going to force any other American citizens' kids to do that either.
Great from J.D. Vance. I enjoyed how he handled this interview because it's true. These are things that needed to be said. These are things that needed to be done for us as Americans. It's been too long since America was first. And then you have these countries who don't want to take their citizens back. Why don't you want your citizens back? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with your people? You know what's wrong with your people. We know what's wrong with your people. Their people are criminals. Some of them are mentally unstable. Like, they emptied out their prisons and their mental institutions and told them, hey, take a hike across the border, get to the U.S. Now they don't want to take them back. That sounds like a personal problem. If you have crime that's gone up and stuff over there, that you need to deal with your people. If we as Americans tried to illegally enter into one of their countries, they wouldn't give us the same red carpet treatment that America used to give those who came across illegally. So take your people back. We don't want them. America is closed. And I also believe that we should hold off on legal immigration for a little bit. We have to get our house in order. Our system is broken. It has been manipulated. It has been abused. And things have got to change. For the better, of course. Pause immigration for a few years. And let's get these other ones who have put in the hard work to actually become citizens. Let's get them taken care of first. Let's get them vetted. Let's get those who came in illegally out and get those who want to come in legally in. And then, hey, we'll let y'all, start putting in applications again. But it needs to be paused for a good bit. It's like you having a leaky faucet. You have to shut the water off to repair it. Or let's say a burst pipe. You have to shut the water off to repair it. It's the same thing. It needs to be taken care of first. Then turn the water back on.